Good morning, internets. Alrighty, so this is hopefully just a quick video, as I just did a 25-minute one rambling about one of my translations. Um, yeah, I'm just posting this here to say that I've been working with the Onmitsu Kage guys there, link in the description, of course. They've been gracious enough to start posting Dr. Kasemzo Gari's recorded seminars over the past 10 years on their site, and it's set up kind of like Netflix for these things. I've been super excited for this because up until the past couple years, I've only got to see Kasem like once every summer in Toronto, Ontario, and uh, and now I get to see lots of them. I don't get corrected by him and these sorts of things. I don't get to talk to him, but I do get to study him rather intensively. Now, the way I take notes is rather thorough and diverse, obscenely so, some people would say. And um, and so when this sort of the Onmitsu Kage website went up, I was just tackled it. Grabbed my notebook, started going to town, started realizing how monumental my notes are going to be, so I started doing it up in Microsoft Word, and yeah, before I knew it, I had a 20-page document. Actually, technically, the first one's 14 pages. I know because I'm looking on my alternative monitor right here. Um, so once I realized, I was like 3 or 4 into it, and I was like, people could use this. I think people could use this. But I was also using screen captures in the process, so I was like, okay, well, I can't just throw it to the public because here I am taking protected content. Or intellectual property and reposting it elsewhere. No, that's not going to work very well that way. So what I did was I contacted the Onmitsu Kage guys, and I was like, hey, check these out. I'm wondering if your customers can use these. I would much rather be out there and available than just whatever. And I've been doing notes like this because I live in a low-income environment, always have. It sucks, but that's kind of life right now for me. And and so I never, even though I'm signed up to Onmitsu Kage, I never have that promise in the back of my mind telling me that I'm going to have access to this video footage all the time. Um, and I've already looked into it. It's an enormous pain in the butt to try and rip off the videos and download them. I actually haven't been successful. Um, and it's largely due to the hosting service provider they use for the video content. I'm familiar with them already because I was using them for a while for this very reason. So in any case, I did up a couple documents, sent them over to the guys at the company. I don't know if they want to be named, so I'm just to Onmitsu Kage, and and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if these went along with the seminar videos? If people could download them, like subscribers could download them. They thought it was cool. They figured they would try it out. Well, we've gotten some excellent feedback on that, so so there it is. Ta-da! So in any case, that's already 3 minutes of me rambling on about the situation, which I've done in other videos already. I know I'm not concise and I'm redundant, but here we go. So I'm just going to cruise through one of these really quickly. Check my lyrics. Ta-da! Alright, so this was, I believe, the first one I did on the Stockholm 2010 Gyokko-ryu and Tojutsu seminar. Now, as you can see here, there's a sizable amount of content. I did not half-ass it. Boom, boom. So much goods. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, look at all of that. Yeah, so that's 14 pages of content. That's quite a bit, right? So, whoa, boom, from the top. Kasem was talking about the nature of Gyokko-ryu and how it fits into the context of everything, and Kosshijutsu and how we all have our own ideas of how the tradition's shaped. It's actually kind of a strange school in a certain sense because it's got some obvious Chinese influence on one side of things, but it's also well, it's a lot of things. It's deceptively simple and exceedingly complex. I love it, really do. It's my favorite tradition out of all 9 of the Bujinkan Ryuha. So yeah, he goes into detail on how this sort of all fits together. He even, though the screen was blurry, I have had the privilege of seeing this document in person at one of the seminars. Um, he straight up shows the character written as Gyokko-ryu Koppojutsu. He was showing that off as sort of proof of concept that yes, Gyokko-ryu has Koppojutsu, and he elaborated on how the reason for that is that when you're dealing with these holistic systems, the Sogo Bujutsu, it's rather shallow and nearsighted to think Gyokuro is defined as Kosshijutsu, not Koppojutsu, therefore it doesn't have Koppojutsu. But the fact of the matter is, not only was there a lot of overlap between the two traditions, um, there's also a lot of correlation between the two. They borrowed from one another, they overlapped concepts, they're developed in the same cultural context in Iga and Koga. So same stuff, same stuff. It might change in its use of lexicon due to the current soke or the current master at the time and what they might be more proficient at. Maybe Toda so-and-so is more proficient at Koppojutsu, so the tradition is identified as Koppojutsu, and that's how he passed it on. Maybe Kosshijutsu, maybe simply Taijutsu, maybe Kenjutsu, Korachi Waza, whatever. Because I'm also highlighted here that the tradition, the martial techniques in the tradition, the Kosshijutsu, the unarmed stuff, was derived from the spear and the longsword, as well as sword drawing, shuriken, kusari, chain weapons, short sword, etc., etc., etc. It wasn't just fighting techniques and you put a sword in your hand, so you have sword techniques. No, 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 no. Not quite. Other way around. So, he goes on some of the history, dealing with the 14th century, elaborating on this and that, the other thing, connection to the Yagyu family, and then we go right into the techniques. So initially, this was the first one. I wasn't going to do like slideshow side-by-side progressions of a technique. I was only doing highlights because this was originally only for my notes, but now that it's a commercial product, I decided to make it more comprehensive in that sense. So accordingly, there's a whole page of details just for koku, which is, you want to talk about important technique. This thing's got everything. It's, oh, so cool. A 3 kamae from Gyokko-ryu. Discussions of koku done with the sword. A variation of koku. Now we go into renyo with sword drawing techniques. And yeah, I did up slides like this, which is super cool. Danshu, Danshi, Chirurumi, goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And we go into Tojutsu, the legendary Tojutsu, and of course the emphasis on where the term Tojutsu came from, and Tosojutsu or Sotojutsu, and that's the sword and the spear together. But yeah, Tojutsu as opposed to Kenjutsu. Fun little factoid here. I really like to play with this. Look at this. Ken of Kenjutsu is made up of 2 radicals. The first one is kin, as in metal, as in the 5 elements, the element of metal, kin. The second radical, katana, as in, I don't know, where can I put that character? As in this, actually, katana, right there, that character there, to or katana. In Chinese, it's commonly translated as knife, but in Japanese, it basically initially referred to a blade. Down the line, it started turning into the character used for longsword. So if we were to look at this here, it'd be katana jutsu. Katana no jutsu. Or together, because you're looking at onyomi pronunciation, it'd be tojutsu. So tojutsu. So tojutsu. Tosojutsu. Same stuff. It's really not complicated. When there was a big debate about people never hearing of the term tojutsu before, Kage-ryu has it. Shin Kage-ryu has it. I forget the name of. I've got a scroll on hand here, and actually I might even be able to bring that up. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's take a quick gander. Boom, boom, boom. Pictures. Heiho Makimono. Yes! Awesome! Jiki Shinkage-ryu has it. Look at this. Ta-da! Jiki Shinkage-ryu Tojutsu. But surely it doesn't exist. I don't know what to say there, but in any case, that tangent aside, Tojutsu. It's all very simple. Right? Boom, tons of stuff on the history of that, the kamae, the postures of it. I have notes on holding the blade, and then we go right into the fighting techniques. I'm not going to show too much of this because it does equate to a commercial product. One that I'm not getting paid for, by the way. But spiffy stuff. Yeah, so that's just an example of the sort of work that you get with the PDFs on Onmitsu Kage. Again, this is an early example. I'm probably going to do a video on later examples, but in short, that's what you get, and at no extra charge. So go check it out. Super awesome if you've got a membership with Onmitsu Kage. It's right there. They even made a whole category for it in the search function just for it. Seminars with PDF files, I think it's called. Actually, since I exist on the internet, onmitsukage.com, since I live on the internet, thinking hard, please wait. There we go. I'm logged in too. Awesome. And I've actually been waiting for this for a while, so cool. I'm going to start looking at the Kage one in the afternoon. In the meantime, right here, right under categories with PDF transcribed documents. So here's the ones that they have so far. I've got what, 6? Yeah. So I've got a couple of them covered. We've got some Santo Tanko Gata. It's some of my favorite techniques right there. Kukishin-ryu Bojutsu and Gyokko-ryu Kenjutsu. Kukishin-ryu Daken Taijutsu, Bojutsu, etc. Churyaku no Maki from Gyokko-ryu. That was a lot of fun, that one. I was really eager to see what Kasem had to say about some of those techniques, and right there's also Bojutsu in that one. Gyokko-ryu Kosshijutsu, Tojutsu, and I think this is the one with Jojutsu as well, which is a lot of fun, something I'm working on a lot right now in my own practice. And then this is the one I did last. And if we go into it, away we go. Then, when it loads, the PDFs are actually found right at the bottom here, transcribed notes. And then you can download and go to town from there. Radio. So that's what that's all about. Lots of fun. And yeah, I just killed off 14 minutes of your life. So hope you enjoy. If you do want to help me out and assist with such things, I am on Patreon. It'd be awesome to get $1 or $2 a month, just something to show that my product is useful to me. I don't get to see the analytics on the Onmitsu Kage page. I don't get to see how popular this is. I've gotten testimonials. That's awesome. I've got some really great feedback. So far, nothing negative. If there is anything negative to say, fire it my way. I strongly encourage constructive feedback, critical or otherwise. Also, requests or anything you guys would like to see in these sorts of documents that I might be missing, overlooking, etc. Fire me a line, Facebook, Patreon, here on YouTube, whatever.